The sun rises over the south coast of Australia and a new season of SKG Tier 1. We're back for Season 11, Round 1, and here we are in the beautiful city of Melbourne. The Albert Park Street Circuit is just a stone's throw away from Port Phillip and the seaside suburb of St Kilda, and it's the third time this venue has played host to the season opener in SKG history. 5.278 kilometres of track lie ahead of us, as well as 4 DRS zones, which is the most of any circuit on the calendar. Race winners around Albert Park have gone on to win the title a staggering 14 out of 26 times, while SKG add another name to that list in Season 11. Good afternoon, ladies and gents. Welcome back to SKG Tier 1 and Season 11 of the Championships. My name is George Sanderson. I'll be in the commentary box for most of this season. And alongside me, I'll often have Ethan Miles, the McLaren team principal. But today, just myself as we take to the streets of Melbourne. And after a hectic first qualifying session of the season, here is how your grid lines up, and it's something of a baptism of fire for the top two of last season's Tier 2 Championship, Lufu beating Reza to P17, but both drivers the only ones in the 1-minute 16s. The second Red Bull, Callum Birch, lines up from 16th with Mr Bus alongside him on row 8, and it's Karis Misch in P14 with State Daisy the highest place of last season's Tier 2 drivers. Ramazan Chapkan makes his debut from P12 with Hydra kickstarting a run of 6 drivers in the 15.5s. Zakopoulos and Josh Rose line up alongside one another on the 5th row of the grid, and then Ryan Banning-Sauber is P8. Caspian J-Chip returns as a full-time driver in Season 11. He starts from 7th, and just a thousandth of a second ahead of him is the RB of Ave Gabardi. Julian Karnantovic equals his best ever qualifying from P5. Wandy looks for 7 consecutive points finishes. He starts on 4th with Mikash in 3rd, and it's a Williams 1-2 to complete the grid, top grabbing his 3rd ever pole position and the lap record around Australia. So here we go then to 5 red lights for the first time in Season 11. And we go green in Melbourne. It's a good getaway from the two Williams. They look like they're going to hold positions into turn 1. Top leading through the first corner with Berber following him through. We have cars off in the background. That's Hydra off into the gravel. And there's definite damage to some of the cars there as you saw the front wing come hanging off in the background, but it's Williams 1-2 as we go through the first sector. Wandy in P3 making up a place to get ahead of Mikash early doors. As we have further yellow flags, Ryan Bannock is out of the session. Let's have a look at the position changes, and your big winner so far, Callum Birch, up 7 positions in the Red Bull. Very nice start from him on the medium compounder tyre, the reserve in the Red Bull. There are your possible tyre strategies there. The 1 stop is predicted as Julian moves himself up into 3rd place, gets past Mikash and Wandy. Out at the front, top. Back within 4/10 of a second. There's a yellow flag further back. That is Karis Misch, who has spun around in P16. He gets the car going again though. So that yellow flag lifted almost immediately. And here comes the change for the lead as top goes down the inside of Berber. And the two of them just trading DRS and trading leadership of this race. And so far it is working. They've almost opened up a 2-second lead back to Julian Karnantovic, who is coming under pressure himself as Wandy looks to go all the way around the outside of the Mercedes into turn 11. Will he get the move done? Yes, he does, as Julian squeezing Mikash there onto the grass. That has unstabled the car, going through the fast right-hander, and round the outside goes Caspian J-Chip. Lovely move by the Aston Martin, gets himself up into P5. Casper thinking of making it even better. He goes 1 better than P5. He is up into P4, down the inside of the Mercedes into turn 3. And once again, I expect we're going to see Berber make the move down the inside of top. This strategy working very nicely for the Williams duo. It is allowing them to escape towards the front as wheel banging between Wandy and Julian as we head into turn 9. Was there contact there between the Mercedes and the back of one of the Aston Martins? There certainly was, and it has unsettled Casper's run through turn 10 and 9 and 10. So, Kasper Jędrzejczyk, first driver to bite the bullet as we start lap 10. He comes in for a set of the hard tyres, so he's going to have to go 19 laps on these tyres. So, responding to the move made by his teammate, copying the strategy, just pitting 1 lap later, and he'll strap on a set of the hard tyres and probably look to go to the end there. Wandy, will he get jumped though by his teammate Kasper, who's coming down the pit straight at the moment? We ride on board with the second Aston Martin, and as they come out of the pits, he jumps Mikash, but by the looks of it, his teammate will stay just behind him. But will he get the run out of turn 1? He'll have the DRS. No, he won't actually. He won't have DRS. He wasn't within a second. Of course, the detection point all the way back before the pit straight, but Kasper gets around his teammate on cold tyres up into P8, and the undercut has ultimately worked. Out to the pits there on the left-hand side is Stay Daisy, I believe, who is a lap down. And indeed it is. So Stay Daisy going a lap down in this race, although he will unlap himself when the top 3 come in for their pit stops. Currently leading the race is Josh Rose, who is on 13 lap old tyres, is yet to come into the pit lane for his one stop of the race, as Julian Kalinautovic is out of the session. On the exit to turn 1, that is heavy damage on the Mercedes there.
Stai tenendo un buon ritmo di gara, ma tieni conto che le gomme devono percorrere ancora una lunga distanza.
And into the pits comes Josh Rose. So, the Haas driver will have to strap on medium tyres, and they'll have to try and last about 14 laps when you take in the tyre wear not being as much under the safety car. The top 3 all into the pits. Berber coming down the pit straight at the moment, so you can see the pit lane off to your right hand side. Berber will hold on to the lead. Top will get himself into P2. Behind them, Kasper Jędrzejczyk and his Aston Martin teammate of Wandy will be 3rd and 4th, with Mikash holding on to 5th. And wait and see when the Williams driver looks to launch it. You can see the safety car with that yellow dot in your bottom right hand corner. It has not quite made it to the pit lane yet, as it now pulls away, but Berber managing this safety car restart. He has his teammate behind him. In fact, they're going 2 by 2 as Berber now launches it towards the penultimate corner. He's gone early, but he hasn't really got the getaway there. As he comes onto the straight, his teammate's right behind him, but talking about right behind, Kasper Jędrzejczyk coming under pressure from his teammate towards turn 1, but the two of them stay one behind the other. It's currently a Williams 1-2, a Aston Martin 3-4, with Mikash in P5, looking for his 9th podium in Tier 1. And if he manages to get that, actually, that would move him up into 8th place on the records for most Tier 1 podiums. He would stand alone on 9. Josh Rose making his way up into P7 on the medium compounded tyres. 10 laps to go as Josh, you see there in the bottom right, setting a purple sector 2. And he has DRS open this time around. Will he look to make a move on the Ferrari? Down the inside into the tight right-hander. It is an absolute lunge from the Haas, but it is perfectly timed on the brakes. Josh gets himself up into P6, back ahead of the 2 drivers who jumped him in the pit stop. Gets a good exit out of 2. Will he be close enough this time? Down the second DRS straight. He pulls out of the slipstream. He has the inside line heading towards turn 3. Down the inside goes Wandy. There's a little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact there between himself and Berber, and he does not get the move done. Berber holds on to the position for the time being. Wandy having to settle for P3, but Berber now 7 tenths back from his teammate. And he's coming under a lot of pressure from the two Aston Martins. Will the Aston Martins look to change places here? Indeed they do. Kasper Jędrzejczyk gets himself up into P3, allows Wandy to drop back into 4th, recharge his battery for a couple of laps, and then go again. And it'll be Kasper to launch the attack this time around. And Zakopoulos now down in P13, back out at the front. And the Williams drivers swapping position yet again, but it's not as smooth, that one. It was a little bit late as off goes Kasper. He touches the grass and slides off through turn 9. Josh Rose up into 4th place. He made the move on Mikash. Around the outside goes Mikash there. Mikash gets ahead of Josh Rose. Gets himself back up into 4th place. Are those mediums starting to go off for the Haas now? Further back, Mikash going all the way around the outside of Wandy. Gets himself up onto the podium. Adrian saying Hydra low-key cooking. He's in 9th place, some 7 seconds back as Wandy gets himself back up into P3. Mikash picking up a 3-second time penalty though. That will prove costly for him. That puts almost to bed who will get the podium. And Josh Rose 1.9 seconds behind as we see his teammate Karos going side by side with Reza Karos on a late charge here in this final stages of the race. It goes side by side through turn 5 at Whitehead. And the Haas has to settle for 7th place for the time being, but is in the slipstream and will have DRS on the Red Bull driver. The tie in the Red Bull looking to hold on to this 6th place. All 3 drivers here that you see in your camera shot, Reza, Karas and Ramazan, all have time penalties. There's a yellow flag in sector 1. That is Mr. Bust, who has spun around. Top is closing on his teammate now. Going down on the run towards Ascari. He'll have the DRS. Will he be able to make the move? He's forced to the outside line. Trying to go around the outside of Berber through Ascari. They're still side by side as we head towards turn 12. Through the right-hander. Berber holds on. Can Top make a late dive into the penultimate corner? No, he can't. Berber goes defensive. And will Top be able to get it through the final corner? I don't think he will. After trading places for 29 laps, it will be Berber who wins in Australia by a half a tenth from his teammate Top. Wandy will cross the line in P3. Mikash in 4, which gets demoted to P5 because of his penalty. Josh Rose finishes in 4th place. It was an enthralling Australian Grand Prix to start Season 11, and it is Berber who comes out on top, leading a Williams 1-2 across the line. Wandy picks up his 3rd podium in Tier 1, finishing in P3. Looking at the rest of the top 10, a fantastic performance by Josh Rose in the Haas. He comes across the line 4th after Mikash's 3-second time penalty drops him down to 5th, and it's a double points finish for both Haas, Williams and Ferrari. Ramazan Chapkan coming across the line, P8 on debut. Stay Daisy is just outside the top 10 for Mercedes, and it's disappointment in the end for Kasper Jędrzejczyk, whose mistake cost him a shot at the podium. He comes across the line in P12. Zakopoulos was the last of our finishers, with Julian Kalinantovic, Lufu, Arve Gabade, Callum Birch and Ryan Banning, the non-finishers. And in terms of the drivers' standings, of course this is all as they finished. Berber leading top in a Williams 1-2, Wandy in 3rd place. Josh picking up the extra point for fastest lap around Albert Park. Outside of the top 8, you have the other 2 points finishers of Hydra and Mr. Bus in 9th and 10th. And in the Constructors' standings, Williams lead the way by a comfortable margin on 43 points from Aston Martin in 2nd. The half points for Josh reserving in the Haas sees them up to 3rd with 14.5, with the 2 Honda-powered teams in 4th and 5th. 3 teams are yet to score, with Mercedes in 8th, McLaren in 9th, and Alpine had no drivers take part in the first round. They're at the foot of the table. And in terms of the overall constructors standings, Williams still lead the way by about 30 points from Haas. Mercedes all the way up in 3rd, with McLaren in 5th. And in terms of the foot of the table, Alpine still towards the bottom on 2 points, but ahead of Kick Sauber on best result. SKG will return next week for the Singapore Grand Prix. Make sure to follow us on Twitch and YouTube to catch all of the action, as well as joining the Discord and following us on social media.